Welcome everyone to Chess with TV, episode 220. Today is March 3rd, 2016. We're going to pick some opponents from the viewership today, specifically people who are watching the show live. So if you're on YouTube right now, you missed out. But if you're watching the live show, this is your chance to play and beat the Whiz. Not only that, but I'm going to start giving handicap advantage, which is a pawn or maybe even a knight handicap, which is a pretty big handicap. Start the game with the pawn or knight missing. But we're going to try to play some of those mid-tier, low-tier opponents because clearly I'm upper tier. I'm just kidding. We're going to play some of those really low, really low tier since I'm just low tier and give people a kind of an even game, even if you're just starting out in chess. So let's go create a match. This is a bug. I was told to send a message to the creator when this happened, when it says no challenges and a challenge, but I don't know how to make that happen. So play with a friend because you guys are all my friends. I was thinking casual, so I was actually thinking go over here. And now it's board editor. There we go. So I'm going to give pawn odds. Now, traditionally, you're supposed to take this pawn off. Actually, that's like one of the most painful pawns to remove. Not the most, but one of the most, because it's a pawn that would be very useful. Play with a friend, but that's the traditional pawn that you remove when you give pawn odds. I want to play 3-1 today, and I will take the white pieces. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. Any of you guys who want to play Chess Whiz and have a pawn advantage, click that link right now, and then we'll have an opponent. And look at that. We have Mate Amargo. He's a 1706, but he's generally about 1500, as you can see in these various... When I see the question mark, that means provisional, which means they've only played a few games. Their rating might not be entirely accurate. So then I like to mouse over and see, well, what are they in other rating bands? So they've played 1,544 in Blitz, and that's over 374 games you see there. And Bullet over a lot of games. So I wonder why this is question mark. Is this like, this is a Blitz game. So that's kind of strange, this question mark. Anyway, the strength is right about in there. So that's a good match because chess was 1662. What kind of rating is this? Wait, I think this is like correspondence or something. Take a look at my profile here. Yeah, 1662 is my correspondence rating because I've only played one game. So for some reason, it's showing correspondence ratings here, which is completely wrong. But it should be an interesting match. So this missing pawn is actually maybe useful for me because I can put my rook here when I castle and have an open file immediately. Should be interesting. I have a message in the chat that I'm going to block. That's cool. Someone says that they should play tennis now. Oh, instead of chess. I see. I thought the person was saying, I need to learn to play tennis so I can play against Chess Whiz. But they were actually saying, I have to go play tennis, and I would rather watch Chess Whiz or play against Chess Whiz. I agree with that. So this pawn's not guarded, but I'm actually tempted to just castle and leave it there. If he takes, then oh, that'd be terrible. Okay, so what about this move right here? Normally, you should not move your piece twice in the opening like this, but in this specific position, the 3 knights opening, it is a possibility because you quickly put 2 attackers here. You've got the bishop. Ooh, that's a small circle. You've got the bishop and the knight attacking at the same time, and it's kind of hard for black to defend. He can't castle quickly. Usually, black will bring out his bishop here, although this is a popular move because of what happens. Black plays this move. Don't tell him now, but black plays this move. And then this move. It's just the way the opening goes. Normally, you wouldn't move your piece twice because you want to use your entire army before you start going off on a tangent with one thing. And equally important for black is not to move pieces to the side because the center is a more important area of the board. So it's a weird opening where you break these rules of thumb. Sounds weird, but it's true. You would think rule of thumbs or rules of thumbs, but it's just rules of thumb. You break those and go 2 L's here and play that way. So he plays the d5, which perhaps he invented, but most players will play this move simply because it recovers the pawn. But at that point, I have this awesome knight sacrifice called the fried liver, which is pretty fun to play. And this is not a standard move. I have choices. The f-pawn being missing, that definitely makes things interesting, right? So I could just take here because I have push with this cover check. I think I'll just castle. I'll just castle. I mean, that brings the rook immediately to attack. This pawn advantage, actually, he has might be a problem for him because he might be saying, oh no, he removed his most valuable pawn. I was complaining that I would never want to give up my f-pawn, but here in this position, I'm glad that's gone because, check it out, with that pawn gone, the rook is attacking f7, basically. So he's going to feel the pain right here. So it is weird that we're showing correspondence ratings. I don't get that. Jennifer Shahad has been timed out for 600 seconds. I don't believe that. I don't think that that's really Jennifer Shahad. Okay. Thank you, Program Fox, to report this bug. I actually like my position. I want to tear him up right here. If he castles, I want to get a fast and aggressive attack. So let's bump the knight. Let's even play c3, d4, because if we get these pawns traded here, then we'll have another open line straight to his king. This f line, it's pretty useful. I'm looking forward to destroying him there as well. I think he might play knight f5, but I don't think there's really any point to it. You're not attacking any dangerous squares, so it's really... The only reason he'd go there is so that he doesn't lose his knight for nothing, which is a good reason. I mean, I don't like losing my knights for nothing, so I guess that's a good reason, but it's not going to really mess with my plan. Time. We want to play several opponents here, so we can't spend too much time. Is that free? I think that's free. Oh, I got some pretty good moves here, because this, now with my rook attacking it, what a cheater, taking that f-pawn off and winning. But also the knight is not guarded. It's a funny thing. I'll just take the knight. It's a funny thing about winning a rook is that sometimes it's not as good as winning a knight. Here's when you lose your piece that you're taking the rook with. So if I take this pawn and then this rook, I get a rook, but my knight is stuck. Eventually I'll lose it. And that's 5 points against 3, or oh, there's another one. Or if you take the knight, that's 3 points. So the exchange there is 2 points, but the winning the knight is 3 points. In this position, I think actually taking here instead of here would have been better, because it would have torn up his castle position so badly. But now I'm just winning, so winning's good too. Let's just bump this pawn up 1 square. No, let's play the queen out. He has a lot of bishops coming at me like this, right? And I have some power as well going in this direction. So whoever attacks here first is going to have a knight's edge. I didn't want him to play queen h4, because then his queen is coming out here attacking my pawn, the bishop's attacking the pawn, so maybe a little hard to defend. Not really, but maybe, right? But with my queen h5, I stop his shenanigans while starting up my own, and he's just going to die right here. Most notably to a checkmate. This square is attacked 3 times. So I'll take that. Small move, because I need to bring the bishop out. Very powerful move. Yes, it's a checkmate. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool, guys? A back rank checkmate. Oh no, he's escaping. Except he's not escaping. What move will blow him up? This will blow him up pretty badly. I'd say he's about to be checkmated. Oh, he resigns. I was going to add him time first. GG. So that was a terribly unfair game, because I took off my f-pawn at the start and then I destroyed him along this file. Extremely unusual to have an advantage from that. But actually the place where the game went wrong, I think, for him, I think knight d4 is okay. We could look at an opening explorer to see. There's a nice one built into this website. But these moves are just a little passive and they don't deal with the threat. But I think actually he could play knight f5 here and save the knight. He needs to castle. So I would recommend Maida Margot to just play this move in this position with the pawn here or not. Either way is fine. Instead of this move. Because if you bring the bishop out, then I cannot play knight g5. The queen is guarding that square and the queen would take it. And so first I have to get my d3 in there. But then you play here. So let me just show you this line that would happen. If I'm wanting to play knight here, I have to do this so that my bishop's guarding it. Then you bring your knight out. Then if I do this, you just castle. And you're doing great. In fact, I'm wasting my time with my knight. This is no longer a threat. Take is bad for me. Take. I've lost a knight and bishop. You've lost a rook and pawn. Sounds even, but this is really better for the guy who lost the rook and pawn, because all his knights and bishops are out here in the middle game ready to do stuff. And my pawn, it's like an endgame thing, and a rook is not as strong as 2 pieces. So that's actually fine for black. So I would recommend that opening instead, it's a little bit safer and all that. What do we have right now? No games found. Go away, opening thing. I have a challenge right now. It's from You're Crazy. I'm not going to play that because we are playing Beat the Whiz today. So let's go back to the board editor. I wonder if I could do click right here. Oh yeah, click right there, takes me right there. Continue from here. I will play another friend with the white pieces. So this is your chance, if you're new to chess or newer, to beat Whiz with a Pawn advantage. So you're starting the game here ahead of pawn, and it's a chance to play against the Whiz. Now, Program Fox, you are rated a little bit lower than that. This is the correspondence. Okay, 1600, 1400. I'm actually going to start with this move, which is a stupid move. And the reason is a pawn advantage might not be enough for you, Program Fox. I'm just kidding. I wanted to play knight h3 because I'm random. No, I'm kidding again. So this will perhaps make it a more interesting game. So are you going to take my knight? Knight h3 is a horrible opening move, but this is maybe a little bit more than pawn odds now, which will be good because Program Fox is just like that, you know. Nothing personal, but I was going to give knight odds later on, and I'm realizing that if I do that, all the players who took pawn odds maybe will take them, but I don't know if there's anybody out there who will lose to me. Maybe there's somebody who will lose to me even if I give him a knight. Ooh, this is pretty good, Program Fox. I mean, this is my only legal move right now. I'm hurting. I like the way he's playing. So he has a draw if he checks here, because I need to guard my queen, and so I have to play back again, and then he checks here, and I have to play up. Fortunately, I survived that, because now I can block with the bishop. This is hilarious. Okay, so this was even worse than I thought, having my pawns over here. This is very, very painful. Nate Amargo is explaining himself from that last game. He's saying he was trying the two knights defense. There's a trap, but after castling, I didn't know where to go. Yeah, it was actually really changed by my f-pawn being missing because my rook was suddenly active, so I don't blame you at all for getting that kind of confabulated. Did I pronounce that wrong? Okay, so my king is sitting in the middle of the board. Should I finish my development with knight c3? Should I move one of these pawns up? Probably. It's very scary here. I think I should just, you know, queen e1 gets some of the pressure relief, but I better bring out my pieces first. So let's just get the pieces off the back rank so that we can untangle ourselves. If he castles queenside, there's a lot of danger to me over here on the king side. So my plan is actually to castle queenside also by shifting everything out of the way and then running my king back in there. So let's trade queens. Normally I don't like a queen trade when I'm down a pawn, but in this case your queen is owning up my king. Okay, so we're both queenside. So I have some open files. Let's, apparently one of them is slightly off. Let's take advantage of that. This bishop is looking powerful as well. So should I play for rook f1 or rook? See, the problem with this is that I need this pawn guarded, but there's no way I want to use this rook to guard this pawn. There's a rule of thumb for rooks, which is never guard anything if you're a rook, because rooks are awesome, man. They go around stomping up the place. But if it's guarding a pawn, it's like using a house to contain a penny. Like, this is such a beautiful penny. I need to keep this in a really nice place. So you buy a house and you put the penny in there and you're like, that's a great use of resources. Now my penny will not get rained on because the rain will hit the roof instead. That's what this is like. Okay, this is super powerful and could do some amazing things, like you could live in it. And this is like a penny in comparison. Somewhat exaggerated. I actually don't know anyone who bought a house for his penny, but you get the idea. Don't waste your time with a rook guarding a pawn. Hope that analogy made sense to you, because it didn't really make sense to me. In fact, it's hard to relate to because most people don't buy very many houses. And a penny, by the way, is not very much money. So for you Europeans, I meant to say a euro cent. And for you Britons, I did mean to say a penny. Brits, they're called Brits. That's pretty cool. Actually, a lot of currencies have penny as their smallest unit, which is funny to me. I kind of want to untangle this bishop. It's funny to me because... I don't know why it's funny. I'm about to tell you. Should I just leave my king in the center? I think I'm just going to walk my king over here. There's only a 1 second increment, so we need to play quickly. It's funny because in the United States, penny is not the penny. It actually says 1 cent on it. And I used to be a coin collector. I would go to the bank and be like, can I have coins, please? All you have to do is give them money and they'll give you coins. It's pretty nice. And there's no like extra fee thing. So I would get rolls of pennies and I would go through and be like, oh yes, a 1998 penny. I don't have that one yet. That's what I did for fun. Yeah, my childhood was super exciting. And what was I saying? There's a pawn right there. I should take it. Can I take it safely? Safely enough. Let's do it. And I learned that it's not called a penny. It's called a cent. If you want to call it a penny, you want to be wrong because it's a cent. 1 cent. It says right on the coin, 1 cent. It does not say 1 penny. So stop making me mad and don't call it a penny. I've recovered my pawn here. I have 5 pawns against 4 in this area of the board and 2 nasty ones against 3. This is super bad, by the way. Don't set up your pawns like this. So I had a little book. And it had a little hole in it for each penny. They did that with the quarters as well when the quarters started being all different and interesting. Oh, nice fork. You're attacking 2 things at once. But what if I play a move that blows your mind? Namely this move. See, I'm going to pin his rook. I don't think he'll want me to, but I'm going to. 19 seconds. I need to be watching this clock here. Who's challenging me? It's Newbie, and it's a casual game. I think he's on the right track there. I think I got that rook. I think I'm going to take that challenge. It looks very good. Proper time control, casual, which means it might be from position. He might be taking the appropriate odds. So if you are of a mind to do that, I would recommend it. Those books are super cheap. You get a little book, and then you can stick things in it and feel like you're doing something with your life. Oh, your knight. Is it kind of trapped? How will it escape? It won't. How will your knight escape? It won't. Oh, that's too bad. Yep. So he could put his pawn up here to try to break this, but it won't help at all. He'll still be stuck. In 3 moves, I'm picking up that knight. Poor guy. Kind of weird, but you're trapped. I'll take this way. 12 seconds for the game. Oh, we're both super low on time. What do we do? Besides just run out. That's probably what we'll do. We'll run out. Yeah, pre-move that. Take. This is kind of weird. I took a knight for free, but I'm not ahead by a knight. Oh, I'm ahead by a rook. That's even better. Fantastic. Sometimes I'm blind. Here. Oh, I could take that for free. I'll do that soon. You think being ahead a rook is good? Try ahead a queen. Very good. I'll type GG to him. So Program Fox, you really got a nice opening here. This is powerful. You could have had a draw in this position as we discussed because you have perpetual check here. Check, I have to play back, and then check, I have to play up. So that's one possibility. But I wouldn't take that draw, even if I saw it, because your position is great here. What went wrong? Well, since my king is so badly positioned, I would actually just not trade here. I would keep the queen on the board, playing something like queen g5, queen h6, or queen here, or even queen here. Just something to keep the queen on the board, because my king can't castle. So keeping pieces on the board will make it more dangerous for that. It's like, would you rather be in a jungle with poisonous snakes or just a jungle? Well, if the queens are on the board, this is like a poisonous snake. So just imagine that, and then it'll make sense to you. So here, you're still ahead of pawn. You're doing well. I think actually this was just oversight on your part that it didn't guard this pawn anymore, and you're doing fine. It's funny that I have the ability to make my rooks do something useful because I have these open lines, whereas you don't have any open lines. So I don't blame you for being like, I need to open this up a little bit so I can do something. But that just didn't work out. What else can you do here? You can... It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, maybe I'd move my bishop here so that the rook is guarding this. And then I like the idea. I mean, I'm looking at all these pawns saying, which of these pawns am I going to drive forward so I can get an open file? Nothing over here. I mean, that's just right in front of your king. And nothing really over here. This is probably a great area. Probably good. I mean, probably move the knight and f5, g5 maybe. Because you're ahead of pawn, you're going to get a passed pawn over here somehow, and your rooks will be able to shift over here as well. So maybe the best plan is to actually move this knight and start moving these pawns. But I also like getting the center pawns moving, because my king is still kind of centralized, and you can't go wrong by playing in the center. So good match, Program Fox. We've got a challenge from this person, so we're going to look at this, and look at that. There's no pawn odds, because he's super strong. So he should probably have given me pawn odds. So let's play a game here. Hold your horses tight wants some interaction in the chat. I like this knight c3 opening. Hi, Alpha Strike. By the way, I saw you. I just didn't say hi. Is there a small human in the background? There might be. Check. So we're just playing a chess game here. He chose casual, but he didn't change the starting position. So this is not really in the spirit of the episode. Queen E1, allowing me to come over here to these squares. But it is still Beat the Whiz, so I'll type that. Good luck beating the Whiz. All caps, of course, because that's the way Whiz rolls. I'll just checkmate him. Come on, try castling. It'll be fun. Okay. I think I'll take that. Because I don't mind you blocking your bishop. Yeah. You gonna castle? So I'm actually thinking about f5 here, now or in the future. He has tons of pieces that are all guarding it, but it's actually kind of fun to say, whoa, never mind, never mind. Everything is different now. And now we have to go checkmate the man. So let's move the pawns this way to checkmate him. We're castled on opposite sides of the board. Warning lights should go off in your head if you have any. That should say warning, warning. That's what the lights say. As soon as someone castles the other direction, because one of you is going to get checkmated, and I don't think you want it to be you. Should I play b4 now and lose my rook? Probably not. Oh. It's a G-rated channel. Having to ban some people. It's too bad. I'm thinking about a4. I'm thinking about rook b1, but I don't like it, so I'll just play. What do I do? c3 maybe? Yeah, let's play c3. Then I can move the bishop. Then I can use this rook over here. And then I can really roll. a4 looks like it's going to pawn storm, but the pawn gets here, and then the pawn gets here, and then bloop, and he just closes it up, and I have nothing. I don't want him to close it up. It's hard to checkmate through a wall of pawns, so that's why I'm trying to open it with b4. It's really hard for him to avoid trades in that position. Here I think I want to just leave this the way it is. There's no closing that I can do, so let's play here. Probably bishop e3 would have been better. Yeah, bishop e3 probably. Oh well, this is good too. I'm starting to like a4 now. I can set the pawn here and then not push it, because if I push, he pushes. You see the problem, it's just all locked up. But I can leave it here and then start levering it with the b pawn. I feel like I'm going to get an open file here. Should be interesting. This guy's pretty strong, as you can see. His rating's quite a bit above mine, but that means nothing because it's casual. So you pretty much should ignore the ratings. I'll push that again. I'm going to have to move my rook so that I can play b4 because of this obnoxious bishop. Guys, it's smart to move your bishops like this. You might think, oh, it's just one square. It's not very much. But bishops are amazing. They can basically fly across the board. So don't feel bad spending 2 moves getting your bishop 1 square. It's all part of the plan. Ooh, this is a good move right here. See what happens. I went with this because the other options weren't very good. He really had some good attacks on my center. Good, good, good. Did I say they were good? I think so. Definitely need to control the e3 square. It'd be terrible if he pushed. Just terrible. The knight coming in. I'm saying I want to use all my pieces. I could rush it with, you know, all these pawns, but I like using all my pieces. Here, I'll just push because the knight has a nice square here. And this pawn's not very good. So if I took and he took with pawn, I don't even know if he would take with pawns. This position's kind of confusing to me. So here, I need to cover this square. That's going to be a forced capture. Ha! What a position. If he takes with bishop, then I'm looking pretty bad here. Super bad bishop. Maybe this right now. Yeah. Let's do it. Sacrifice. If I spend time bringing my rook in to support, he could sink his queen right here and stop the advance. So I'm going to go all out, guns blazing, 20 seconds each. The same color bishops with my bishop on the same color as these pawns is very bad for me because all my bishop can do is defend, while his bishop can be awesome. So I need to get some power going quickly. Play up. No, that's not good enough. Yeah, that was pretty bad, huh? Oh, I should take that. I should have taken that. I should still have taken it. He's adding me time. I'm trying to run you out of time, so it's very rude to add me time. But I'll still use it. Down a rook. Oh, you beat me. I'll give up even though you just added me time. So here's the position, right? B5. I feel like I want to see the analysis right here. B5. I'm like, wow, great move. I blundered my pawn. Now I'm going to attack him. And black is slightly ahead. He takes with his queen, and black is slightly ahead. See that point too? No, you don't. It's off the screen. Rook FB1. And black is, okay, so what do you recommend here? Rook AB1. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's similar though. So black is winning by about half a pawn here, maybe a little less. And he plays queen in. So now I have a great move and I don't play it. What's my great move? Defend this pawn? Just slow and steady, because these two pawns, they're working great to keep him out. He cannot break through the center. It's so locked up. And by losing this pawn, it just made me completely fall apart. The bishop takes here, it forks everything, and blah, blah, blah. So I just totally lose here. Black ahead by 7. So what if I played this move? Then he can do nothing, and I can gradually bring up attacks on this file and all this stuff. I can even take this pawn once I am attacking it more times than he's attacking it fewer, because this pawn will be pinned, and so it's actually hard to defend. Wow. Well, good game. I actually was liking this b5 move, but it was really smart of him to get this trade and make the knights look like this. I mean the bishops, because that was quite good. Okay, I think we have time for one more game. Oh, we have time for a really fast game. So let's go to the board editor and take a knight off and give a big advantage to the viewer in this case, and we're also going to play a very short game, just a 1-minute game with no increment, because that's all we have time for. I'm going to take the white pieces. So this is your chance, if you're a new player, to play against Chess Whiz, beat Chess Whiz, because you're going to start out ahead a knight. But the downside is only 1 minute per side, so you will probably lose anyway, because I'll just run you out of time. So click that link. Last game of the show. Let's see what happens. We're fighting against someone who's unrated. But he's 2,300. You know what? You're a meanie for joining this game. I'm going to abort you. And then back, and then forward, and then front position again, and then analysis board. Nope. And then back, and then continue from here, and then friend. I'm actually not going to play you. You're disqualified by having too good of a rating. But if you click the link again, then you know what I'm going to do? Neither do I. So let's see if we get a different opponent. If we get the same one, oh, Rondep. He aborts. He's like, oh, you know what? You're going to kick me out, so I'm gone. What am I clicking now? Continue from here. We're really trying to get an opponent who actually doesn't have 1,000,000 times more brain mass than I do, because they would crush me. And that's not really what I want for the end of the show. It's like, yeah, here, welcome to Chess Whiz TV. Watch me lose at chess really bad. And Rondep is back. I think he's trolling me at this point. Fortunately, we have a 9-minute game from Goldbeard. Let's take a look at this one. I don't have time for that, Goldbeard, but cool. Cool position, bro. And now I'm going to leave. I don't know what that's all about. So Rondep is gone also. So we're going to try one last time before we totally give up. Not totally. I'm going to continue breathing. Well, someone who would totally give up would actually just, put their face underwater or something and then die. Okay, who's it going to be? Smoochki. Okay, so this guy, you know what? He's 1900 in correspondence. But if you look at his chess ratings, they're a little more reasonable. So good luck and have fun. Let's play a 1-minute chess game for the final game. I have no Queen's Knights. That could be some kind of disadvantage, but let's play a King's Gambit. Who needs a Queen's Knight in a King's Gambit? Not me. I never even use the knight over here. It's completely unnecessary. King's Gambit is now being notated as a mistake by the engine. Oh, take that pawn, take it, take it. Oh, you didn't. He actually could take that and then a brilliant d5 to solidify it up. Would have been pretty nice for him, but that's life. c3, holding the position together, and now let's bring up an attack. Okay, he's dead now. Watch this attack. 5 attackers on f7 if you count with your eyes closed. It's a lot of attackers. 40 seconds to 36. The clock is running low. Oh, you're moving too slow. Let's bring this rook in here. Easy Cheeto, right? Cheeto cheating because I did not even have to bring out this knight. What an advantage. Close it up a little bit. Help him to die. It looks like his knight is pretty trapped. Oh, should I take that? I don't like trades, so I will take this and take this. I don't like that. But hey, I'm down a piece for a pawn. That's pretty bad. But I've still got an awesome, and I mean awesome center. It's really, really nice center. So I'm going to run him out of time, which is kind of a sad ending, but that's the way life is sometimes. Let's cover that square and continue marching the pawns to his death. This is actually a pretty nice attack for me, even though he's ahead a piece. You can see him scrambling to do anything. Getting kind of defensive there. This pawn's under attack now. Ah, my rook. I don't need my rook. And he's out of time. Oh, Smirchgy. So you're 1900, but that's correspondence. Now, correspondence is not bullet chess. There's a big difference between being able to sit there for 3 days running your computer analysis and having to move during his turn, which is what I did for some of those moves. Good game. Thank you for the game. Of course, you're still winning. You just take this rook, but it's a little dangerous after pawn takes knight. I just like to demonstrate that the reason he's frozen in place is because after these 2 moves, he's kind of dead. And that's not good to be dead. Undo that. Undo. Here, of course. He loses the rook. Cool strat. And now, am I winning? I'm winning. Isn't this awesome? Isn't this awesome? He's like, oh no, I can't take the rook. I think that's so awesome because the pawn will come in, and then by the way, he makes a move and I checkmate it. Just by the way, if you didn't see that, that's what would happen. So cool attack. Now, I was planning to sacrifice in this pawn when he captures. Suddenly, all of his defenders come over. That would have been completely horrible, so I'm so glad. I'm sad that didn't happen. If this is the first time you've seen Chess Whiz TV, I'm amazed because we've been doing this for 220 episodes. In fact, it's been almost 2 years, and I'm going to let you know exactly when that date is, which is like 3-4 weeks from now or so, when we hit our 2-year anniversary. It's pretty fun. If you go back to the old episodes, you can see how much younger a man can be if he could only go back by 2 years. If you want to watch the live show, it's broadcast at twitch.tv/chesswiz. Be sure to put that H in whiz, and then it's you have to be there at the right time as well. It's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 4 p.m. GMT. If you go to the website chesswiz.tv and then click schedule, it shows your local time zone, so you don't have to do any crazy math like adding or subtracting or something really hard like that. It'll actually show you what time it is there. Then you can click on that, and nothing happens because the website's not very good. This has been Chess Whiz TV. Thanks for watching.